What's up, YouTube fam? A long time no see. I've been so busy, but I'm just so excited to share with you everything that we have been doing. And I'll get to that in a second. We have so many videos coming down the pipeline and with everything that we've been doing. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys. If you are watching and you've been part of this journey, I just want to say thank you for being here. We are just getting started, truly. We have so much coming up. But first, if you followed me on Instagram, then you know that I am trying so hard to figure out how to do latte art. So today, this short intermission video before we get started with everything that we have been doing and what we're doing in the year of 2025, we're gonna learn some latte art. And so I've tried and tried and tried. I've gotten so many tips from you guys on Instagram, which I'm so thankful for, and it's helped me so much, but I've hit like a plateau. And so I decided to reach out to one of our friends who is, oh, there's an airplane. I've decided to reach out to one of our friends who's actually a professional with latte art. He is in competitions, he roasts his own beans, Allison and Grant. So we're gonna go to their house today because I truly live by the motto, if you wanna get better at something, then surround yourself with people who are better than you, even if it's about latte art. And so we're gonna go and learn from Grant and Allison today because he is so good at latte art and he's way better than me. So he's gonna give me all the tips, and I wanna share with you guys in case you are interested in learning latte art too. We call it tulip time, so it's about time. It's about tulip time, isn't it, Bo? Is it tulip time? It's tulip time. Are you excited? We're gonna learn how to pour a tulip. I know. Wait, I've gone to the store. I got all kinds of different milks. I got coffee beans. We are ready to go. We're gonna drive to Grant and Allison's house now, and we're gonna go learn some latte art. So here we go. Up empty-handed because I need a lot of practice, so I brought all kinds of milk. I brought beans.
We've got honey.
We even got honey, a whole thing. We got regular like whole milk and then a couple different things of oat milk because I'm an oat milk girl.
Gotta find what works best.
Find what works best. I know that the oat milk stuff isn't gonna work best, but yeah, we came prepared. Lots of practice gonna go down. I hope we're at the right house. I just show up with a whole thing of milk.
I know.
Hey! Hi! How are you? I was like, I hope I come to the right house because I just have a bunch of milk. Okay, so he messaged Tyler and he was like, hey, you need to have Grant teach Baylee the latte art. I had no idea that you were so good at. Literally, she sent me a couple of videos that you had told her about, and I'm just sitting on the couch watching them over and over. I know about spout proximity. I know about, what's the other one that he was talking about? I don't know. I watched the whole, it was on the TV, and I was so fired up the next day. I was like, I got it. Oh, yeah. And no. But I think I'm to the point now, so I've gotten the consistency kind of down, and I realized that my espresso was not, it was like too foamy. Mm-hmm. And then what I'm struggling with right now is I can get it like white on top, but I can't actually like make the art. Yeah. So it looks like a pine cone.
Yep, I got it. So I think what we can do once we get like
situated,
familiarized with the machine a little bit, because it'll be different. Okay. But I should have everything dialed to where it makes.
Oh my goodness! Look at us.
It makes pretty good espresso.
What is? We got two machines.
Yeah. So I just recently upgraded.
What is this?
It's the Synesso ES1.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And
it's fancy.
That is so cool. Yeah. So what I'm struggling with is the guy in the video would tilt the cup, and I know you have to pour the base. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to do that because whenever I see videos, like my whole explore page on Instagram is now latte art.
I can relate.
The whole thing, and then I'm like, they make it look so easy, and then I go to pour it, and the base is like okay, but then they have like a stream where the art like flows into it.
Yeah.
And mine just stops, and so then I'm just like, then I pour and it's like a blob, and then I pour another blob, so I'm excited to learn all of the basics. Yeah. Okay, so he literally is gonna enter into a competition. And what he said is that you have to submit 5 pictures. Okay, so after 5 photos, then you become a contestant of like a baking show.
Yeah.
So are you like on a timer whenever you get there? Obviously, this would be your first one, right?
Yeah, my first like official one, if I make it, if I even make
He's
it.
gonna make it.
I'm gonna
We're
try.
gonna be cheering him on. Grant from Hit Fire Coffee.
I might have to make like 300 drinks
That's
to
okay.
get those 5 photos.
That's okay. You got this.
But then yeah, they take the top 60, and then there's bracket style, and it's like 3 days or 2 or 3 days of competition, and then they narrow it down to the top one. I'm not trying to make a podium or anything.
Yeah, you are.
I just want to be in that 60 that
You
goes.
gotta start somewhere.
If I get 60th place,
That
I'll
would be
feel
so cool.
accomplished.
It's like the CrossFit Games, but with latte art.
Exactly.
And it teach me, so I'm excited to learn. Where do we start?
Okay, so your Breville machine has a button for steam on red. Is
It
a
has like a.
Oh, it's a little lever thing?
It's like the old one.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah.
Okay, it's like the little lever.
Okay, so this is just a knob, and it's it's variable. So the more you turn it, the more it blasts. So I'm gonna kind of blast it.
Okay, it's gonna blast the steam. Oh,
So
okay.
And purging the steam one is always important too, to get all the water out.
That makes sense.
That can really just ruin the entire process. If there's a
So
little.
what I've done is I'll turn it on and it'll like heat up and I'll like get the water out and then I have to turn it off and then put the coffee in there and then turn it off.
That's what kind of gets it off. I purge
Purge the water.
before and after, because then the milk gets in there, and you got to blast that out or it gets kind of grimy. So.
Yeah. Are you a latte art connoisseur? No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But you're learning.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
awesome.
just 5.5.
You are just 5.5.
Yeah.
Do you think you could teach me latte art? I bet you're better than I am.
No.
You will be.
Yeah, someday.
Someday.
This machine, once you lock it in there,
Okay.
you turn this on to. This is how you fire up the water.
Okay.
But then you have to manually stop it. So.
What if I like watch you do one and then you watch me do one
Okay.
and then
Okay.
we go from there?
Here's another question I have. Do you have a goal as far like a target pattern, like a design?
Tulip time.
Tulip. Okay, you're going for the
We're
stacked
going-
tulip.
We're going for a stacked tulip. Yeah.
Stacks on stacks.
Yeah. Today's tulip day. Then we could do a Rosetta day.
Okay.
What's your favorite thing to pour?
Oh man, what's my favorite?
Must be nice to be able to choose.
Yeah. What I really like to do is the hollow heart, but I'm still
Hollow
learning it.
What is? I want to see his best art at the end.
Okay.
Okay.
The drink size.
Oh, see, we need 2.
Yeah.
We need 2.
You gotta have at least 2. And I'll get into that.
Okay. Well, 3 actually.
I like different sizes. I like
Okay.
to steam in a smaller one. This might be too small for this size drink.
Okay.
So I'm going to bump up to this one. And then, after I steam the milk, I like to transfer it into a bigger one.
Why?
Oh, I'll tell you.
Oh, tell me.
Yeah. Let me just pour first.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll explain everything.
He's gonna give us a pour. I'm gonna see how it runs down, and then he's gonna give us all the tips. That's it. For sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
I better purge this again.
He's gonna purge it again.
Those water droplets.
Oh, that's
You don't
nice.
want to let your milk sit too long before you start pouring it in.
Makes sense.
It's
What's
supposed
it
to
look like?
That's a good color.
Yeah, that's a good ratio. Yeah, we know that at least. Wow, that's real nice. It doesn't have like water coming out. Our machine might be half
Smooth.
broken, really. Let me get this. Weird, so we do that so far. Yeah, it does. And it's also not on the right on the edge.
Bring it in just a little bit.
Like he's so focused. That's how I get to him. Like that left me. I'm talking about steaming the milk. That was so much faster. Purge. Okay.
Now transfer.
Transfer. We're gonna learn why in just a second. After we get this poured.
Couple reasons.
Okay.
Honey's kind of throwing it off a little bit.
That's okay.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Not even fair. It's not fair. That's what. This is amazing. First off, I threw in honey, so I messed it up. But look how amazing that looks.
Try it.
It's not fair. It's not even. That's what it's supposed to taste like. It's so good. Not fair.
Here
Pinch it
where
like
you're not
this.
like pinching the actual wand,
Okay.
then it's fine. Yeah.
Don't pinch the wand.
It
You'll
will get
literally burn your hand. Or whenever he pours it, he waits until it's 24.
It just depends on what you're going for. I'm going for like the 24, 25 gram
24,
range.
25. Okay.
Just for this, it makes latte art a little easier when it's a smaller shot.
Okay. So I'm gonna show you what I've got, and then you're gonna critique me
Okay, and then I'll
and
explain
explain everything.
some of the things that I do to make it a little easier for me.
Okay. Perfect. Wow, that looks so nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's standing by. You seen what I've got first? And then. That's why. All right, you're not even ready for this. He's not ready. He's never seen a tulip look like this before. Dude, I'm actually impressed right now. Wait, are you serious?
Wow.
Pretty.
Yay.
No. It's all in the machine. I'll take it.
Wow, that's good.
Okay. Whatever you want to use.
Well, first,
Okay.
let me show you
He's
my...
going to give us a full rundown on all of his equipment, what he uses, why he does what he does, because we're going to get all the tips today.
I want to cover the pitcher transfer.
Okay, yeah. So he uses multiple pitchers, obviously. And I've seen that in different videos where they transfer it over. So why do you do that?
Why you transfer after you steam to another pitcher
Yeah.
is to help integrate the milk, and it does do that.
Okay.
It kind of smooths out and kind of grooms the milk texture a little
Yeah.
bit. Gets out a lot of big bubbles because you can pour it up high or down low depending on how foamy it was when you steamed it.
That makes sense.
You can kind of smooth it out that way. But the
Because you
reason...
can't see it in the bottom if it's just in there.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Real deal in it today.
Spout proximity.
Spout proximity. Oh yeah.
So with this small pitcher, after you steam the milk, it swells
Yeah.
up a little bit.
Okay.
And you're pouring it in. You want to get close, but you physically can't because it starts falling out.
Right.
Because it's so full.
Right.
But if you
Makes
transfer
sense.
into a larger pitcher, like
Oh.
this one,
Hmm.
then you can get so much closer before it comes out.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's another reason why you tilt the cup to get really close.
Really close.
You pour a lot out with
Yeah.
your base, so once you get here, then you can kind of give it a little more ripple.
Talking about the rosettas, we're just talking about the different spout sizes.
But if you'll notice, it's kind of stuck in this
Yeah.
narrow V, and it doesn't get a good swing back and forth.
Yeah.
So even if you do get good ripples, they're going to stay kind of nice and tight.
Yeah.
But yes, it's just a single dose grinder, so it doesn't like, you just pour whatever you weigh out for the shot, you just pour it in the top, and it comes out here. Nothing gets retained in there.
So if I want to do one shot, how much are you going to put on this?
Right now, I have it dialed for 18 grams of coffee.
18 grams of coffee. So almost on the dot. Oh, on the dot.
Wow.
That's good enough.
18. Okay, so then you just pour them in the top.
Yes, and you need to have...
So what's that do?
It helps neutralize the static charge a little bit.
Okay. Is it just water?
Yeah.
Then pour it in here? It's like a pencil sharpener.
So I use this to brush it down a little bit.
Okay. A little
then-
wire brush.
Yep, and then I give it a little tap.
And then a little tamp. Tap, tamp. Oh,
Sometimes I like to level it out.
He
Make sure
levels
it's
it
not,
out a bit.
make sure it's not heavy on one side. But yeah, as long as you just push it down and it stops, you don't need to go.
Fancy one.
You don't really need to go any farther than just when it
Okay.
stops.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to the basics. I didn't do honey in the first one, and we used whole milk, so I was really set up for success. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do honey, and we're gonna do oat milk, which is what I've been doing at home, and see if it's like any better. What kind of scale is it? What's the brand?
Akaya, I believe is how you pronounce it. It's
Okay.
the lunar scale, and it's designed for espresso. It'll time the shot and like kind of automatically weigh it as it starts dripping.
Okay. 25-second mark, 36 grams. Here we go.
It's a good starting point. Just
Do it in
steam
that one?
and pour out of that.
Okay.
And go like between the second line and the spout.
Right. Okay. Now we're messing up the espresso with the honey. This is just so much nicer. Am I doing it right?
I'm gonna get it in.
Like that?
Yeah. Get 'em on there.
Smooth it out. See how it's so much thinner?
Mhm. I
Yeah.
think you have to add a lot more air to open it. So
Okay. Yeah, it's super thin. And we're back.
I have heard that you need to add a lot more air to open it.
Okay. We're back.
So I think
was living on a dream.
I think the only difference it's that whole milk. It really makes it so much easier. But
He said, so he's gonna try it with the oat milk because the oat milk I just said was way too thin. So he was like, he's gonna try it now and he's gonna put more air in it. But I was like, what does it mean to put more air in there in the milk?
yeah, so there's kind of two phases of your steaming.
Okay.
Right off the bat, you're injecting air. You're trying to get the steam is really just like opening air pockets in there and heating the milk.
Okay.
So it's
that
not
hissing sound?
Yeah, you're not really putting steam in the milk. You're using the steam to heat it and inject air from the atmosphere.
Got it.
So at the beginning, while it's still relatively cool, that's when you should be injecting the air.
The air.
But not too much, but maybe so. I don't know. And then after you feel it get like warm to the touch, like once you feel it start getting warm, then you kind of switch to just integration. One thing I noticed that you're not doing and you might want to try is having both hands on the pitcher.
Oh.
Or at least one. One holding this so you can pull it out later, and then the other one kind of feeling the bottom.
Okay.
And then once you feel it to get to where like you can't really hang on to it anymore,
Then
that's when
it's time.
a good time to shut it off.
Okay. How do you, so this, say I'm just beginning. You put that in there. What angle do you use? Like, do you want it to be, so you want to put air in it and then you want it to be like a vortex, right?
Yeah. I kind of follow the YouTuber's advice on this one. I pull that all the way out, and then I align it with the spout, and then I'm getting it like halfway between the center and the wall. I'm kind of holding it at this angle. And then so as soon as I start, it's about like that tip part is about halfway down into the milk ish. And you kind of play with that, but start it, and then as the milk gets air into it, the milk level should rise because it's getting, fuller, more voluminous. And you don't really have to do a whole lot of like, okay, it's done injecting, so now we integrate. It kind of does that a little bit on its own. You might have to make some micro adjustments.
This is his first time with oat milk. He was curious. It looked a lot better than mine from the jump, first off. Okay, yeah, so it seems like you have zero problem. Yeah, so it's definitely not what mine looked like. This is my oat milk. That's his. I don't know. Like, that's a hard, I don't know.
Seahorse
like, which one?
versus tulip.
Yeah, literally. I don't know who, like, if you can do a seahorse.
It is a seahorse.
Like, seahorse versus tulip, what do you want? Like, which one? This one's very talented. This one's pretty, common.
Oh,
Not often do you get a seahorse at the coffee shop. My goodness.
Keep going, more air. Okay, now smooth it out.
A little bubbly.
That's fine. If you transfer it, it'll take a lot of that out.
Okay, we're transferring it.
I'll transfer it.
Swirl it a little bit. Let's go. I don't know how to do the top, but that's so much better.
Wow.
So much better than anything we've ever done.
Yeah, it's really clean.
How do you make the little top one look good? I go a little fast, don't I?
Maybe you need to slow down and hang out there for a second.
Yeah.
And sometimes at the very end of your pour, the milk starts getting a little bit like it's mostly foam at that point, or it's kind of stuck in there and it doesn't push out as much.
Yeah.
And the rest of the canvas here is starting to get set up with all the other foam that you've been pouring in.
Yeah.
So you got to give it like a little extra wiggle to kind of like push it out. So maybe there's just a little bit of a lingering at that top that should take place. Yeah.
Okay. So my overall consensus is, I think that my machine sucks. No. I think the espresso, there's just a difference in the espresso versus the one that comes out of my machine. And I have like the Breville one, and then it's the grinder on that stopped working, so I've been using a different one. It just feels a little flat. Like it doesn't, I don't know how to explain it. Like the coffee tastes really good, but the milk does not like go through.
Right.
So whenever I'm pouring it at home, it just sits there. The milk does. Whereas this one, it like flows through, like you see the videos online, and it doesn't just sit there, so I can like keep pouring. Whereas at home, it's like a blob, and then I just keep running out of room, and it doesn't like open.
Yeah.
We're giving him mock competition vibes right now. He's gonna give us his best latte art. And we're putting a little pressure on so we can practice for when he wins this competition, right? He's using his new machine. So he's gonna give us his best shot. Do you get to watch your dad do this every single morning?
Not every morning.
Not every morning? Like every other morning?
Sometimes.
Does he ever make like a dinosaur?
No.
No! Are you serious? Oh, she's ready to bake cookies! What are you gonna bake us today?
Yeah,
What?
tiny cookie.
A tiny cookie. What kind of cookie?
The tiny one.
Like chocolate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. Whoa.
That's all right.
Oh, yeah. You passed the test. Wow, that's pretty. Looks good. That's perfect. Like, when it's that good, you don't even need honey.
Yeah, exactly.
You really don't. It's so good. So this is like, how many ounces? 8?
About 6.
6? Flat white cappuccino,
Yeah,
whatever you want
nice.
to call it. It's so good. That's how you know it's good coffee, is if I like it strong. All right. Moment of truth. Not amazing. But it's still good. Not amazing, but still good.
Yeah.
Look at us. We're tuliping.
The milk got a little wild
It was okay. It was the milk, but we did good. That's 3 tulips out of 4 tries. I think we did it.
Great job.
Thank you so much. Seriously. So much for your help. We're thankful for you. Every single one of you who've been like, hey, share the tips. It's all because of Grant. Grant made our tulip dreams come true today.
This was fun for me. I was
It
happy.
was so fun. Seriously. I'm gonna have to come back whenever we get even better, and then you'll have to teach me how to do like the Rosetta and what you just did, whatever that was, because it was beautiful. Okay, so we just finished up at Grant and Allison's house, which was so much fun. You guys, we got a tulip. We did it. We've been trying for so long, and it's all thanks to Grant and Allison, and it was just so much fun. And I'm just gonna give a couple of takeaways that we had. So I've been trying to do this tulip art forever, and once, I don't know what it was. I think takeaway number 1, I think I need a new machine. So now I'm in the market for a new machine because my espresso hasn't been great. I think it's my grind size and just my machine is old. So the espresso felt kind of like flat, whereas with Grant's, it was kind of like creamy. So the milk was able to move. And then with the steamer on my machine takes forever for it to get actually hot. Whereas whenever I put the milk in on Grant's machine, it was like maybe 15 seconds. Whereas mine just takes forever. So maybe that's like breaking down the milk. So that's takeaway number 1 was I definitely think I need to either tune in my machine or it's time for a new one or I don't know. But his machine was awesome. So I definitely think the machine matters just based off of the consistency and the steamer. Next, he was talking about the different, like how to actually put air into the milk. So with oat milk versus whole milk, the whole milk didn't need as much air because it's fluffier to where if we put too much milk in, then it would have just kind of been like foam. Whereas with the oat milk, since it's a lot thinner, we needed to put air in at the very beginning. And then once we had enough air, we like settled in the spout to where it was like kind of like silky. And then we turned it off and we actually took one pitcher into the next one. And then the reason we did that, which I've always seen people do that, I'm like, why are you changing pitchers? Like, I don't understand that. It was to take the air bubbles out of the oat milk so it was a little more silky. And then once, literally the first one that I poured, obviously it wasn't perfect. It doesn't look beautiful, but it was so much better. Like the milk actually looked like when I was pouring it, it didn't just sit there. So like at home, my oat milk would just like sit there on top of the actual espresso. But with this espresso, it was so like nice and creamy that it looked like my Instagram Explore page where when they pour it, it just like goes through the center of it. Like there's kind of like a stream. And then it was so much easier to like build on top of that. So overall, it was just such a fun experience. And it was so cool to be able to actually like feel it at work. Like I've been waiting for this moment. So if you're anything like me and you're just wanting to learn something new and learn the latte art, I hope that you learned something from this video. Maybe something will click, and if you did and you're pouring latte art and you have an Instagram or social media, whatever, tag me because I want to see it, because we're on this journey together of just starting to learn. So thank you again so much to Grant and Allison for having us over and for teaching us the ins and outs of latte art. If you haven't already, go and follow his Hipfire Coffee, and you can learn some more tips and tricks over there. And he also has limited coffee bean drops. So thank you guys so much again for watching. Thank you for being on this journey with me. If you don't mind, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. That way you don't miss out on everything that we have coming down the pipeline. I promise we have so much, and I'm just excited to be on this journey with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.